session. As I said, more people may join us as they come in, so we'll welcome them as they do. But this is a joint presentation today between the Alzheimer's Association and the American Heart Association to talk a little bit about connecting with community resources and how that may help you in the wellness of employees and as employers and so forth. So we're going to kind of split this up. I'm going to go first, and then Denise is going to come up and join me, and then we'll leave it open for a little bit of discussion. So that being said, we have a lot of information, a little bit of time. So if I skip over things, that's why I am doing that. So my name is Katrina Skevel. I'm the Chief Program Officer with the Alzheimer's Association Central New York Chapter. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about Alzheimer's disease, its general impact on the workplace, and what resources may be available and how you may be able to partner us and to bring programs and so forth into the workplace. And maybe it's not us, but maybe just thinking about it again from a general disease organization, health organization, if you're seeing certain things, how you may be able to take this information and reach out to the appropriate organization. So up here are just a couple of facts. That Alzheimer's disease is currently the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. It's actually the only cause of death in the top 10 that can't be prevented or cured. There's more than 5 million Americans currently with that, and that number is expected to rise to more than 15 million by the year of 2050, so tripling in numbers. And you can see that 1 in 3 seniors dies with Alzheimer's disease as well, or another form of dementia. Now, numbers specific to the workplace, we know that 85% of care is provided at home and is delivered by family caregivers. 75% of caregivers report being employed full or part-time at least at any time during those caregiving responsibilities. 54% of employed caregivers had to go in late or leave early or take time off due to caregiver demands. And dementia caregiving costs employers more than $33 billion annually in lost productivity. So this is something that is happening. I'm sure that many of you already know people personally or professionally who are affected by some form of dementia, but it continues as we're seeing more and more individuals being diagnosed with this disease. It's going to continue to affect individuals personally and therefore professionally in the workplace. So all of this being said, knowing that it's a concern, what do we do about it, and how do we help? So the Alzheimer's Association is here to do just that, as are there many other health organizations depending on what disease you may be looking at. So our vision is really to help and support families and individuals impacted in any way we can, and our vision is really a world without Alzheimer's disease where it's not affecting anyone. So we offer a number of programs and services out in the community in the Central New York area, and we actually have chapters all across the United States. So if you are part of a larger organization, certainly this may be applicable to some of your coworkers and colleagues across the nation. But we have tons of information and support services. We have a lot of education programs. We offer support groups both for caregivers as well as those who may be affected. So someone may be diagnosed with what we call younger onset. They are 50 years old, they're still working, and now they're starting to see challenges of Alzheimer's disease impacting their work. We have support groups available so they can talk with others who are going through similar situations. We also have safety services and a number of online services. So this is just, again, a very, very brief overview. I've included some more information on the side, so if you would like some more in-depth information on all of these topics, feel free to grab that afterwards if you haven't already done so. I specifically want to point out some more online resources and services that we have because, you know, certainly as employees and employers, I think this is always just quick at your fingertips these days. There's lots of stuff on the internet, but we have almost all the information that I could provide you physically, we also have online. So we actually have education programs that people can watch online. Everything from being a caregiver in the early, middle, and late stages of the disease. So someone is trying to balance work, family life, now also caregiving on top of their own health and well-being. We want to make sure that they're supported and they're provided the information and the tools necessary to do that as effectively as possible. In addition to the programs, we also have an online support group system called ALS Connected, where people can talk at their own convenience and certainly within their work schedule with other caregivers who are affected nationwide. So again, that's just another nice support tool that we do have available. Al's Navigator is an online planning service where people can input their information. It spits back to them an action plan. And then we do also have a number of other resources to find local agencies and so forth. So let's get into kind of the heart of it and what all this means for again, employers and wellness programs. One of our big events is our Walk to End Alzheimer's. This is our largest signature event that we do have. And this is certainly a way for folks to get engaged. So if you are looking for that, more traditional, okay, let's all go out and do something together, that camaraderie approach, this is a really good event to consider joining. It also can be utilized from that, corporate perspective as well too. And I know Denise is going to talk about their walks as well. We know there's walks all over for all sorts of agencies. So again, consider potential events and so forth and getting involved in that. And again, especially if employees are affected by this disease, this can be a nice way to engage the employees in something that's personal to them and what they're being affected by. So some other wellness program ideas. I mentioned education programs. We offer a specific program on knowing the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. So that's a really nice program for people to start to just get educated a little bit more on what they should be paying attention to, both in themselves, family members, and other coworkers that they may be surrounded by. In addition to that, we have another program called Healthy Habits for a Healthier You. So again, paying attention to, okay, what are those health things I should be paying attention to? Eating well, exercising, stay physically, socially active, and engaged. And certainly we have a number of other programs where if you're seeing a large number of people affected by this, we can always come in and provide more specific information and provide that actually at the work site. So again, we're trying to meet everyone's needs while they may be affected. Referrals to support services. One of the pamphlets I have included over on the counter is our 24-hour helpline card. We actually have a 24-hour helpline number that is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single day of the year, that is available for information and support. So if there's any EAP coordinators in here, or again, just managers, if you're ever hearing of someone say, oh, I'm sorry, it was a really, really difficult weekend with my mom, she has dementia, give them our number and tell them to call us. It is a free service. Again, you can call as many times as you want. And it is for, again, information. So if someone has a question, they can call us. They say, should I place mom in a nursing home? I don't know. We can help talk them through that and provide that support. And it does also act as a support service. So it's 3 in the morning, the person can't sleep because they're so overwhelmed and inundated by all of the physical, mental, emotional stresses that this disease causes. Again, they can call us at any time. So again, I would encourage you to take at least one of those cards, if not multiple of them. If that's something that would be helpful for you guys to have on hand, we're happy to provide that so that you can have that in your place of work. I already mentioned our Walk to End Alzheimer's. So we, in the Syracuse area, have it annually, usually around the first weekend of October, but we do a number of walks. We do 6 throughout the central New York area. This year we had close to 2,000 participants, so it is growing, and again, we're seeing that as a great need in the community. Our second signature event is something called the Longest Day. This is actually an event that helps to signify the longest day for caregivers, which is truly every day of their life. So in that event, we encourage folks to join a team and come together and actually do an activity that they love from sunup to sundown as a fundraising event, not only for support, but also for research and prevention towards a cure. Another idea I put up there is casual for a cause. So again, if you're just trying to figure out some engagement activities, rallying around some resources and support services that are important to the employees, it's similar to a Jeans for Charity type event. That's something we can support you on, or any other third-party fundraising event ideas that you may have. Again, I think that I would like to point out, and as Denise comes up, she's going to give you some other ideas, but thinking about this is, yes, this is what you can do for the Alzheimer's Association. We would love if you partnered with us, but again, there's a lot of organizations out there where you can pay attention to what's actually affecting the well-being of your employees from a personal perspective and kind of rally behind those causes, and then also support agencies in the community that do provide these services that are out there. So again, I'm trying to go very quickly so that we have some time for Denise to come up there. But I will just take a couple minutes if anyone does have specific questions based on anything that I had said. Not yet? Okay, so I'm going to invite Denise to come up and do a quick 10-minute presentation, and then together we'll go ahead and just maybe have some discussion around some other ideas that you may have and so forth so that we can share that. And bear with us just for a minute while we change over the PowerPoint slides.
I'm with the American Heart Association. I am the Heart Walk Director, and absolutely love what I do. You know, just in listening, if you were here this morning and listening to Dr. John and you know, his philosophy on what we should be doing in our workplace, I think that the American Heart Association really has already started that philosophy and culture change. So we believe that everyone deserves you know, to live a healthier and longer life. And you know, when he was talking about purpose today, it really kind of resonated with me in that I'm very involved in the community, but 4 years ago, I'm actually a stroke survivor. So I knew that I wanted to get more involved and create awareness. I felt that my purpose was, I'm here, I'm okay. How can I spread the word as far as, you know, what the American Heart Association does? I've grown up with heart disease in my family, so you know, figuring out, is it your grandchildren? My why is my boys and my family, and hopefully making a difference in people's lives. So you know, that's really the mission of the Heart Association, is what I am so passionate about and love talking about. So again, our mission, just building healthier lives free of cardiovascular disease and stroke. But what I find really exciting is that 80% of heart disease is preventable, unlike Alzheimer's, which is really very scary to think about. So we actually have a 2020 impact goal, and that is to improve the cardiovascular health of all Americans, and then by 20%, and then reducing death of cardiovascular disease and stroke by 20%. Reducing death is going to be actually something that we're going to attain. Because of the technology, the medications that are out there, we're actually able to reduce that. Where we're not seeing, where we're at 12% right now, we've just done some analysis, is in getting people healthy, okay? And so that to us, just in Central New York alone, if we don't meet that 2020 impact goal, that's going to leave almost 37,000 to 40,000 Central New Yorkers, you know, with not being able to reduce their health or improving their health. So just to give you a visual, I'm very much a visual. Our current situation when we started this is on the left-hand side. So when you're looking, you've got almost 3 tiers of the poor, the intermediate, and ideal. And I think the right-hand side is our survey. You know, we're making strides as far as where we're going with heart disease. You know, our walks that I'll talk about is really about getting people just motivated to walk and make those extra steps. Our children today, this generation, may not outlive their parents. That to me is mind-blowing, having a 23 and a 20-year-old. So, you know, knowing that that is something that, and that it's 80% preventable, you know, there's where the passion is. So we're here about helping to create a culture of health and moving people in that direction. By measuring it, you have it, you know, your baseline, and then your interventions and things, and then also following up. So there's ways of kind of measuring what we're doing and how we're moving forward with that. How do we do that? One of our biggest programs is our Fit Friendly program, where we're able to go into workplaces and help to really establish a well-being program for their employees. We have over 40,000 employees in Central New York that have taken advantage of this, and we have different there's different levels that you can apply for. It is an application process. So there's a gold, a platinum. You apply twice a year in April and November. We just had our November application. And what this is giving is there's criteria around what that looks like and why do we want to do this. So, based on statistics, we're really looking at that there is illness is preventable. When we talk about heart disease, we know 80% of it is. But just some of your reductions and reducing absenteeism, increasing productivity. I know it's kind of contradictory to what we heard this morning, but American Heart Association, the research that we do really lends behind where we're going. And most executives know that creating and encouraging this environment isn't always easy, but that's where we can help you in moving and driving your employees. So there's 3 criteria. We look at nutrition, we look at culture, and we look at physical activity. So that really mirrors what we were talking about today as far as it's not just one thing that we can come in. I really think of it more of as a consultative. When I really go into an organization and sit down with them, I talk to them about their culture. For instance, UPS is one of our new companies that just applied. And understanding that they have people that are in the office, they have people that are driving trucks. It's very, a very active environment. So how do you do that? And everybody's, really philosophy and what their health is different. So, the folks that are in the truck and getting out and bringing our boxes to our houses are probably pretty, physical. But are they nutritionally eating well when they're on the road, right? So looking at that. And then creating that culture from the top down. So really having that consultative. And there's some, I didn't bring the flyers up here, but you're welcome to stop at my table. And it gives you the criteria. There's different ones for each of these. And then there's that application process that you go through. So we'll be hearing in December, late December, early January about that next group of people that have actually been awarded that. You do it once a year. And if you have multiple locations and you've applied in Syracuse, you can actually check all locations. So, for instance, all of your other organizations across the country would actually be considered with the award. With this too, it does help with your hiring. You'll receive the emblem, whether you're gold or platinum or you've won an innovation award. You can use that for your hiring through your HR departments. And so people that are looking for a health and wellness company that they want to be a part of, that's one of your core values, it really will help with that retention and recruitment. We also have our Life Cycle 7. This is an online, so this can be utilized through an individual, through groups, or through, and then just kind of take a sampling of everything. So looking at the heart health factors, this looks at your activity, your cholesterol, so you can do a self-assessment and then make some changes. It actually shares with you your individual report on where you're doing well, and then actually going in and making some recommendations on how you could potentially do a little bit more for your health and make those adjustments. So this is an individual report you can receive. This is on theheart.org, and you'd be able to go right there, and you can do it as an organization, as an individual. We talked about autonomy downstairs, so really that can be something that you can invite your employees to be a part of, and you don't even know if they've done that or not. So just another resource for you. So there's a lot of things, the Fit Friendly program, my Life Check. I can come in and do lunch and learns for you. I call them Learn for Your Heart, and it just allows us to come in, do a cardiovascular 101, we can do CPR, there's a lot of different things, and again, that's where my consultative, just what's going on in your organization to help support you in that engagement and really helping your employees. We have a lifestyle change submission also that you can make a nomination for an employee, a friend, and I have those downstairs as well. And they would actually be recognized at our Heart Walk on April 2nd, so the submission is through March 1st. Those are people that have taken an active role, and you feel that they've made a significant change in their health. It could be that they were on the couch for 20 years and they started walking. I mean, it's whatever you feel that submission is, and then it's selected and they'll be announced at the Heart Walk. Our Wear Red Day really starts our promotion of our Heart Walk and just women and heart disease. It's the #1 killer of women. And so the Wear Red Day on February 2nd is an awareness campaign, and you can certainly fundraise in your companies as well. Our Heart Walk is here. I'm excited on April 2nd this coming year, and I'm promising everybody sunshine, so it'll be my first Heart Walk, so we're hoping for that. There's also National Walking Day, which is the Wednesday after. I have a company that, they have a campus, we have a walking path program. They have a beautiful campus, and they're setting up a walking path for their employees to be able to do some mile marks. They're going to utilize the Heart Walk, and then on April 6th, be able to really kick off a program within their company. So whether you have a company that has outside ability to walk, you actually, I have a company that's on the fifth floor of one of our buildings downtown, and it's such a large area, they're just marking it there. So there's many ways of creating that work site wellness. Our Go Bread for Women luncheon is in October, and then National Healthy Eating Day we just had in November is another opportunity for you to, again, engage, create that culture with your organizations, and we have toolkits for all of these things. Heart.org, you'll be able to find a lot of these things, and I do have some pamphlets downstairs as well. This just happens to be one of the teams here, Team Freedmac, and that was just one of the many. We have 3,500 walkers, and it's really a festival here, so if you haven't been to the Heart Walk, I encourage you to participate. It's a lot of fun, and just a great way to get your family, your friends, your employees engaged. And so we're all about community, family. I'll take questions, anything that you have. Yes?
I just have, out of curiosity, your statistic of your dollar spent toward these initiatives and the results, where did that come from?
That is from the, that's our national number, yeah. So it's 78 cents, I think, of the dollars. Is that what you're asking?
It was like 3 to 7, 78, $30 spent.
I'll have to go back and look. Yeah. So, yes, anything else? Okay. Did you want to come back up?
Yeah, we have about 5 minutes left, so we did good.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of
I feel like
us.
I went,
We both have so much, I think, to talk about and share. So I think maybe we can just open it up for discussion and just see, have you brought people in before for lunch and learn activities? Is this something that's difficult? Does it seem to work well? Other ideas of ways we might be able to engage, or questions you might be able to have or share with other folks in the room here?
Is there a fee for your lunch and learns?
There's not for us. Is there for you? No. And I would say that that's something that, we can always work with you on to see what's best for you. If it's maybe you only have a 15-minute period of an employee staff meeting, we could come in and talk about the resources that are available through the Alzheimer's Association, because you may not always know, right, who's affected or who knows a friend who knows someone who has the disease. So all of the things that we provide, with the exception of our safety services, are all free. So all our education programs, all our support groups, the helpline. One thing I didn't mention, I know, is we also do care consultations. I know you mentioned consultations. So that's where someone can actually come in and sit down in our office and talk about specifically what's going on with their situation and what best steps might need to be taken. So, again, especially for people who have so much going on, they may not even have time to do research, we can schedule a half hour and either come to them or they can come to us and sit down. The safety services are the only thing that we have a fee for. However, that's something that we can work with them on if they're not able to meet it for financial reasons.
And we have patient support also on heart.org, you'll find, for caregivers, and that. So there are so many things, and we had such a tight time frame. So we do have that as well to help the caregivers as well. So I'm just even thinking about loving myself, loving my sister. So we're really getting into a multicultural community events. That there's actually one on Saturday. So we're really taking, it's all encompassing, I guess. And that heart.org has tremendous amount of information. So I encourage you to check it out, especially if you have something specific that you're looking for as well.
And I would say, definitely use us to your advantage, that if you're trying to do education programming, don't reinvent the wheel. That if we already have stuff and that's what our mission is to come out and do it, again, let's work together. We can come in, I know we bring all the technology, the handouts, everything. So again, if that's part of what your vision is or what you're trying to provide, there's lots of agencies out there who can do it on a number of different topics. Other thoughts, questions?
Is anybody fit friendly in the audience? Didn't know about it?
Fit friendly as far as our company?
Yes.
Oh, we are.
Yes. So
Yes.
Visions is
Visions
okay.
is,
Yep.
yes.
So the application process is in April, so we can start. Yeah.
Do you say that was for small employers?
25 at a minimum of 25 employees and up. Yep. So get with me. Happy to help you with that process. So okay. Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you for being here. And I know we actually have tables next to each other downstairs. So again, if you're looking for more information, brochures, handouts, we have lots of
Or just conversation.
stuff out there.
Even scheduling one-on-one.
Just come see us.
Yeah, just come see us.
Thank you all so much.